Hi guys. This was not how I saw my first video on YouTube going. This is a subscriber's response to the drama between the authortubers and Kristen Martin that's been going on this last couple of weeks, and I think it's gotten a bit out of hand. As a subscriber, I felt that I was being treated like I was stupid by authortubers who felt that it was their business to tell me that ARCs are free. And I appreciate that not everyone knows what an ARC is, or may not know that an ARC is free, but let's face it, you know, we live in a pretty savvy world these days, and it doesn't take long for anything to go around. Okay, now this isn't a video to sorry, my son came in. This isn't a video to defend Kristen Martin or to defend an authortuber. This is me having my opinion on both sides of this situation. I subscribe to quite a lot of authortubers and Kristen Martin, and at this point I don't have any intention to unsubscribe from anyone. Okay, now a little bit of backstory on me so you can perhaps see where I'm coming from. I am a writer. I will be going the traditionally published route when my books are ready to be submitted, and at the moment I've just completed a period of time where I've been working with a writing coach that I'd hired, who lives in Philadelphia. And he took my 30,000 word first draft and he's made it into something pretty magical, right, with me. And what I've learned in the process, I think everyone should get a writing coach. Having a accountability buddy is great if you're both experienced enough. Okay, this is just from the observations I've made through my own journey. Now, last July, I gave up my successful, I might add, network marketing business and decided it was time for me to follow my lifelong dream, passion, goal, call it what you like, as a writer. It was also the year that I turned 50, so it was a big year for me emotionally to start recognising the difference between my parenting life and myself. My youngest child is 14, my oldest is 30, and I've only got my youngest one at home now. And so I was experiencing some life challenges to where I belong, what my purpose is. You know, 2 years ago when my daughter was at home with my grandson, you know, I needed to work for this reason. Now I need to work for another reason, and for the first time in my 30 years of being a parent, I was able to choose a direction that was more of a passion than it was a necessity, and I was fortunate enough to be able to make those decisions. So knowing what my story idea was, and knowing how much I needed to learn, and the qualifications in creative writing and journalism that I had were outdated. They were like 20 years old, and it wasn't going to cut it in today's market, whether I went indie or whether I went traditionally published. It was just out-of-date information. So I done NaNoWriMo last November. I completed that, and I used that as my guideline. That was my preset to see where I was going to go forward from then. And like most people, I scoured YouTube, you know, for all the information that I felt I needed. But the thing with when you're looking for information is you don't really know what your style is. You don't really know what's relevant to you or anything until you try it. Now, very often what I found was there's conflicting information, okay, and it's factual stuff. It's not about style or personal taste and stuff, which makes it a little bit confusing if you're a new writer. Now, I was fortunate in the sense that I've always blogged. I've always had a blog on the go somewhere, at some point in time, on some subject or other. And having many businesses of my own over the years, I've also accrued a pretty comprehensive business mindset along the way. I have a business qualification as well, which just enhances certain things. I only took that course because it looked good on my resume, and that's what I wanted to do at the time. So that's pretty much where I am right now. For the last year, since last July, I've been a full-time writer. I hired a writing coach. I'm about to hire an editor. I write middle grade, which is like 8 to 12-year-olds, and I have a huge set of ideas from this book to continue on, but there's other things I want to do as well. This is not a self-promotion video. This is a little bit of backstory on me, on why I'm having my say on this subject on YouTube. So I'm on my writing journey. I am technically self-employed because that's a position I put myself in within my own company, my own country, tax reasons and whatnot. I'm a parent. I also have grandchildren, and I have I have 9 diagnosed disabilities, 2 of which is a result of the rest of them. And so I live with arthritis and whatnot, and I am divorced, and I'm a happy. I piss people off because I'm always happy. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Okay, when I mentioned that I was going to start a YouTube channel, that was not, I'm not joining the YouTube as an authortube. I'm joining as someone to motivate and inspire and share ideas with other people. Right, my target audience, my ideal tribe are people right about my age who have got children or grown-up children, grandchildren, my kind of age group. But I don't turn anyone away because I'm kind of nice like that. And I err on the side of, I don't care if the glass is half full or half empty, let's just use the glass for something. Okay, that's the way that I roll. So now let's get into this video. A few days ago, I saw for the first time a video where one of the YouTubers I follow called out Kristen Martin. Now, she's the only name that I'm going to be revealing because she's been outed so much. I'm not going to be naming anyone else for the purpose of, it's going to be hypocritical for this message to be authentic if I'm going to be naming and shaming as well, because that's not a belief I have. So I watched the video, and I was about 30 seconds into it, and I was stunned. Because I thought, wow, Oprah Winfrey was right when she shared a comment from, I think it was Angela Mayo or someone, I can't remember pronounce the name, when she said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Now, if you're a writer or you know anything about the writing world, the biggest thing that you kind of educated on is show, don't tell. Okay, now there's lots of different ways you can adapt that, and so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to adapt it to ourselves, to our actions. I can show you who I am, or I can tell you who I am. Which one are you going to feel more comfortable with? Which one are you going to believe? Chances are you're going to believe what I show you. So when this authortuber showed me who she was, I was disappointed. And I have to say, I lost some respect for her as well. And what she done, she was telling me why Kristen Martin was wrong. In all honesty, I and many others already knew Kristen Martin was wrong in the action she took when she positioned ARC's advanced reader copy of her books to high paying members of our Patreon. We all know that's wrong. Okay. The tagline that followed, ARCs are free, could have been done generically as a way of promoting it. Could have been done very, very different. Okay. I understand there's some people are annoyed and frustrated with the way Kristen has pitched her arcs. I understand that, and I agree wholeheartedly. However, if this person, who I think might be the first person to do a video on it, if she'd have stopped to think about it, I believe she would have had the intelligence to have used this to everyone's benefit and no one's detriment. Okay, I really believe she could have done that. Because for me, what screams out to me is, don't tell everyone that someone is wrong. Don't put them in the firing line. Show them she's wrong. Okay, start the tagline, ARCs are free. Do a video, do a collaboration, and say, you know, and then if some, you know, do it, let me finish a sentence. Do a collaboration to say, you know, we want to just remind you that ARCs are free. In no way, shape or form should they be paid for by a subscription, by membership, or any other means. You can have an ARC by email or a physical copy. Okay, now, I'm fortunate that I get asked to do both, and I very often prefer an e-copy because I can get it straight away and I can read it, you know, wherever I am, you know, as opposed to carrying a book around and whatnot. And to me, that would have been the smart, respectable move to make, and I would not have lost any credibility for this authortuber because I wouldn't have been any the wiser. She would have shown me that she's intelligent, she's thoughtful, she's considerate, and she's smart. This is what she would have shown me. Instead, what she told me is that she's petty, jealous, and a little bit on the bitchy side, and she has to have the world know her opinion. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but that's what I feel each time I see one of those bloody videos. I see someone who just can't control their own emotions enough to put things in perspective. So as a subscriber, I'm seeing not only where Kristen Martin is wrong in what she's doing there, but I'm seeing authortubers who claim to be decent people, and on some level, I've no doubt they are. But when you show me that side of you, and then you add in other things that you want to bitch about that they're doing, I then take a step back from you, and I think, right, well, I'm going to have a look more closer to what Kristen Martin's doing, and I'm going to make my own decision. And that takes me on to the next part. But before I get to there, when a YouTuber tags other videos in support of their video, as a human being, I would encourage you to make sure that your message is a positive, uplifting one, or one that's got beneficial factor, that's never going to come back and bite you on the backside through your career. Because I'll guarantee you now, your videos are going to come back and haunt you. You're going to wish you never made them. Okay, not because of anything I'm going to do. Don't take that as a threat. It's because when we're branding ourselves, and I'm branding myself as we speak, Kristen's branding herself, and there's lots of YouTubers out there branding themselves, you get to decide. Now, at the moment, I do have more inclination to go towards Kristen than I do these other YouTubers, because she has dealt with this in the only way a decent human being should, and that she's shut it down. She's not joined with it, because it didn't stop at YouTube. It did flow over to Twitter. And when you've got all and sundry jumping on the bandwagon. Her fingers could not go fast enough to defend herself or to explain or anything. So she done the one thing that any smart person is going to do. She shut it down. That's exactly what I would have done. End the conversation, block, delete, whatever. Just shut that door. Now, from what I understand, not one of you have gone to her direct on a one-to-one and said, Kristen, what the hell are you doing? Can we talk? No one's done that. No one has done that. Who are you to think that you have got it all going to call someone out like that publicly? Sorry. How about if I named you right now? It's not a humane thing to do. Call it free speech, but even free speech has consequences because it's called accountability. You don't get the give without the take. You don't get the up without the down. It's the law of polarity. Think about it, people, right? Another thing is what you've done is you've opened the door that you wanted open, and you cannot cry victim, right? I watched a video last night where this lady, a separate person I might add, she blatantly admitted that her and a load of other authortubers were waiting to pounce on Kristen Martin. You were waiting. That tells me that you ain't no one I ever want anything to do with. I am so sorry that's so harsh. But as an authortuber, you have lost my respect. Right, that's not going to affect your sleep tonight. But I hope this message does. Because you showed me who you really are on the inside. And I don't like it. I don't like ugly personalities. I don't like it. Okay? And I have the choice to subscribe or unsubscribe. I have the choice to watch you or not watch you. Same as you have the choice to respond to this video or not. It's all about choices, but with choices comes consequences. We all know that. Now, the sad thing is, when everything is going okay, these other tubers, they're pretty great. But let me tell you one difference I've found, and this was before I knew about this drama. There has been times that I have commented on authortubers' videos, including Kristen Martin. But let me tell you, the only one that's ever replied to me, Kristen Martin. Okay? So for all of you guys that think she thinks is all that, you're probably right. But business-wise, she's on the right track. She's why she's where she is now. Right? Because while she's wrong about the ARCs, I do agree that she's overpriced her courses for this stage of her career. She wants my advice on entrepreneurship, and I've been an entrepreneur for a very, very, very long time. Then she needs to start at the lower end of the pricing bracket and build up. The more she learns, the more she can higher prices. That is business, people. That is what business people do. Whether you are Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, or whether you're Joe Blogs next door, you start from the bottom, you build your way up. Every entrepreneur of every background, of every industry, they give a huge amount, but then they always keep something back for the paid clients, paid memberships, etc. That is called business. If you don't like the way entrepreneur business works, get out the game. Right? As an independent author, this is the world you've entered into. If you don't like it, you either need to just leave it alone or just go and find a new career. Right? Now, I am going to be forthright in my talking because that's the way that I speak. Right? It's the way that I am, and I'm not going to change. I can take the shoot downs. I can take, if you disagree with me, do it politely. Don't insult me. Don't, get mean and nasty. And I'll engage with you. You don't have to agree with me. I'm okay with people disagreeing with me. What I'm not okay with is people who don't know how to step into their own. Because there was authortubers that I've been watching, and you know, there's for a while I've thought, well, why are you not doing your own courses now? Why are you not writing your own? Because let's face it, God, there ain't no new information out there. You know, you think of, you know, what, 7 million people on the planet. There ain't no new information out there. It's all generated, recycled, shifted around, updated, and you know, it's the way it is. Yes, what Kristen Martin's charge you for, you can get for free. But then you go to Tony Robbins' event for like £10,000. That you can find that free as well. But the thing is with paid information is the construction of it is more in line with the purpose of the course. So, for example, Tony Robbins. Okay, you go to one of his private courses, right? Whichever tier you want to go to. On each one, there is a certain amount of information that you won't get in the other unless you're going up the ranks. Now, I have paid for a Tony Robbins course and I got some phenomenal information. I've paid for a Bob Proctor course and I got some phenomenal information. I've made a big mindset shift in a lot of areas in my life that I wouldn't have been able to put together on free information because I wasn't constructing it in the way that these courses are constructed. So is Kristen Martin wrong for these courses? No, she's not. She's not wrong. She's a businesswoman. She's coming at it probably a bit too strongly. She's coming at it from a business perspective. What Kristen, if she wants my advice, is what Kristen would benefit from is to take off a professional hat, you know, and learn more on the personal approach. Kirsten, sorry, my daughter's name is Kirsten, so this is tripping me up every time I say Kristen. So Kristen coming from the corporate world into a very sociable world, because that's what we do in social media, there is a disconnect there with Kristen, but I have confidence and faith in her that when her time is right, she's going to make the connections and put things right. But this is her journey, not yours. You're on your journey. And hopefully nobody calls you out on every little thing about you, the way that you have done with Kristen. Now, let me tell you something, guys. I look at Kristen and I think, gosh, you've worked hard to get what you've got. I can see the dedication. I can see that she's passionate about her health. And who gives a shit if she eats bacon or she's vegan? Seriously. Does it affect you? No, it doesn't. Is it your business? No, it isn't. And if that implies to you inconsistency or integrity issues, you need to look at what those words mean. Because Kristen can be anyone she wants to be, same as you can and I can. There are days I am 100% on my healthy eating plan, protein-based, and I'm all for it. Then there's other days and I'm thinking, do you know what? Just give me a pastry. Give me a pack of M&Ms. And I don't care. Do you know what? So, do you know, I don't care what anybody, you know, it's up to them. But let me tell you something. If you want proof, look at her body. Look at her figure. So, who gives a crap what, you know, on the incidentals? To me, that's just looking for other things to bitch about her for, because it seems to me that Kristen Martin can't do anything right by you lot. And I think that's a shame, because there are probably 3 authortubers I was intending to reach out to over the next couple of weeks rather, as I work on my website, as I do certain things. And I wanted to reach out to certain authortubers. One, because I know they've got books coming out, and I was going to ask if I could be considered to read, to be an ARC reviewer for their book. and another one because there was something else that they do in their entrepreneurship that I was looking to pay for their services on. But when I saw the videos, who was tagged in the videos, who else's videos on this, and now it's gone from, started off being an ARC thing, then it on to being about the courses, then it's about a house, then it's about a bank. I was like, seriously people, is this all you've got? Is this really who you are? I'm sorry guys, but you're not the people I thought you were. And you're not the people that I could recommend to other people. Now, I accept that by the same token that Kristen is on her journey, you are on yours. And I hope this video does go out and reach at least one authortuber. Because if just one of you understand that attacking a human being makes you no better than a terrorist, makes you no better than a bully. And I'm writing books on bullies at the moment, and I'm telling you, you are in that freaking category. You are a bully, and you justify it by free speech. You justify it by anything you like. Your method of putting that opinion into action puts you in the category of being a bully by any denomination of that meaning of word. You take your pick, you look into it. Okay, now trust me, writing 3 books from 3 different perspectives on a bully, you learn a lot. And just to clarify 1 or 2 things here, there are things in my own personality that I'm working on, because I recognise that I fell into a category of being a bully as well. The way that I can sometimes word things puts me in a category that I don't want to be in. I don't ever want to be a certain kind of person. And when I was doing things in a certain way, I was manipulating. I didn't see it that way. It wasn't, and I was mortified when I realised it. But I hold my tongue. I rethink what I'm going to say, and I readjust my expectation from what I'm asking. That's a massive mindset shift in the whole charade of what a bully is. So when I think of the videos that I've watched this week, I feel embarrassed for these authortubers. I feel myself cringe, because as I've said, when you show me who you are, I'm going to believe you the first time I see it. The first time I watched your videos, I trusted who I sensed you were. So I watched again, then I subscribed, then I'd start commenting, then I'd start recommending you. I'd like videos, even if they weren't relevant to me, I'd like them to support your channel. I've bought your books. Almost every authortuber that I subscribe to, I've got at least one of their books, because either you're writing a genre that I'm interested in, or 2, it was my way of supporting you. But I don't need to tell you what I'm doing, because I don't need the glory for it. But know that behind the scenes, a lot of power is there to be had. You don't need to be powerful in public, because that's ego. Now, I also, one last point, and I'm going to end this video. I also would like to suggest to any person on the planet, much, but at this point, especially an authortuber, look into personal development, because it seems to me that you are totally misunderstanding where Kristen's coming from, and yet she's on that personal development journey. When you understand what personal development is, right, not only will you get unlimited benefits, you can overcome issues, you can overcome depression, because I've done that, you can overcome anxiety, because I've done that, you can get so much into focus with yourself, with your family, with your life, with the dramatics that do tend to happen to all of us from time to time. that you could save thousands on therapy. And I'm not kidding. But when you understand some of these principles, you will then begin to relate to Kristen Martin. You'll understand her. Then you'll feel like a bit of a twit. Then you'll wish you never made these videos, because you can never take back what you've done. Right. But let me tell you something, as someone that's never spoken up on this subject until now, I've never commented. I haven't ever spoken to Kristen Martin other than one comment she replied to me on. I know for a fact that if I was ever asked to choose a side, I would choose Kristen's side. One, because I understand where she's coming from, and two, because, oh my God, so many of you hit out at her. You've pulled her apart. You've pulled her life apart. You've guessed. You've put your own opinions in there. You've got your own clause in there. You've guessed so much. You've assumed so much. And what's she done? She's not named any one of you. She hasn't got personal. She's dealt with it with decorum, with class, with style, with maturity. And she's, believe it or not, she's dealt with it with love. Because if she didn't love herself, she couldn't respect you lot. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think Kristen Martin is the one that comes out with a great big fucking cherry on the top right now. Because she's shown me who she is. And the same way that you've shown me who you are. So, whatever backlash this video might get, or whatever support might get, don't know. I've no idea. I've got 2 followers, or one of them I think might be my son. You know, because I haven't had any plans to launch my YouTube channel for another, probably a couple of weeks yet, because I'm still creating my content. Now, the thing is, guys, people, friends, enemies, whoever you are out there in the big world, the thing is, we all have an opinion. We're all entitled to an opinion. But we don't all have to get on the bandwagon to an opinion that we have without knowing the bigger story. Okay. If you want to bitch about Kristen Martin, make sure damn well that you know the other side of it. That's just a life lesson, guys. Because to me, if you can come on YouTube with all your subscribers and post that kind of content, what you're showing me is you have that in you on a one-to-one. So I feel sorry for anyone that walks out of your company. That's what you've done, guys. That's what you've done. By posting that kind of content, you've shown people who you are. Instead of you've not educated me on Kristen, you've shown me who you are. So, as a writer to a writer, in any form, show, don't tell. Show your subscribers who you are. Don't tell them who someone else is. And more to the point, guys, if you feel that someone needs calling out on something, make sure it's something legal. Something illegal, rather, or harmful they're doing. Because that saying comes from those kind of incidents, not for anyone to jump on a fucking soapbox and use that as a backdrop. It wasn't that the right to free speech. Learn your history in your country. I know the history of it in my country, but free speech is not free speech. Go and do your homework. That's all I've got to say, guys. And hopefully one of 2 of you might listen. One of 2 of you might get to see this video and think, oh, she might have a point. You want to dialogue with me? Feel free. I'm open to dialogue. You want to bitch with me? I'm not interested. I'll do what Kristen, I'll just shut the door down. Because I don't do that. I'm 50 years old. I've got 4 kids, 8 grandkids. I've you know, I'm done with being at school. Let's face it, I'm done with childish attitudes and stunts and that, even on, you know, the internet. So call it as you want to call it, because this is how I call it. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.